Hey Aries, welcome back, and sorry that your video's getting late. We're gonna do mid-December through mid-January, okay? We'll talk a little bit about the astrology, but you know what, there's so much going on, especially as soon as we hit January. I highly recommend going and checking out White Light Astrology, or Cam White. He does a great overview of everything. I will try to mention it throughout this, but let's just get right into your reading here. Because I know you guys are probably impatient for it. Some things came up and I was going to do them on Saturday, and then just life came up over this past week. Work has been insane, so I have not had a second. And I do apologize, guys. So, let's get into this. Here we're using my Gustav Klimt deck. Ooh. Okay, Aries. Where are we at right now? We have the full moon in Gemini coming up. We just had Mars going to Sagittarius in your 9th house and Mercury going to Capricorn in your 10th house. So it's interesting because Mars is your ruler. It's going into fellow fire sign, but it's Sagittarius. So it's very much about, and again, Mars is like, you know, as you guys know, being Mars energy and being Mars ruled, it's very much about fighting, confrontation, throwing your energy at things, wanting to escape. Is going to be a huge thing in Sagittarius now, wanting to get into like a place of escapism, and what are your beliefs, and fighting really with your beliefs. If you don't believe in what you're saying and you aren't attached to your beliefs, it's going to feel off, and you're fighting, and the way you're coming across when you're getting frustrated and coming at others is going to be confusing. And so yeah, comes in that need to escape. So we have that kind of energy kicking about right now as I'm doing this reading, and as we approach this full moon in Gemini. And, oh, that's really interesting that comes up. So, we're kind of closing out the year with some pretty big energy. Obviously, we'll have Venus going retrograde in Capricorn in your 10th house of career, how people see you. So it's going to make you really start to question that, and really confront fears in those areas, because it will also be right on top of Pluto. So we're kind of confronting all this interesting energy right here as we close out the month. And I'll talk about anything else that comes up throughout the reading, but I just wanted to kind of talk about the energy right now briefly. Yeah, I think a lot of us are really looking forward into 2022. I don't know, I just kind of get this sense for a lot of you guys, and honestly this has been coming up in a lot of my readings, like personal and I don't know, for the collective. I just feel like there's this thing, I don't know, not this thing, but I feel like we all feel this doorway in that Cancer full moon that we'll be having in January. When is that? That's going to be a January 17th. So in about a month, I think that we can see things shifting. I think that especially in terms of home life and our enjoyment and things kind of getting back on track, I feel like we're kind of pegging okay, sometime around mid-January, we're all going to be good. Things are going to finally get back on track. They're going to feel good. I'm going to be able to enjoy my life a little bit more. It just feels like you guys are really missing out on, I don't want to say friends and family and that feeling of community around you, of loved one community, but it does feel that way for some of you guys, especially if you're not seeing those people around the holidays or just at the end of this year. It's just maybe you're just too busy. I just feel I get the sense for a lot of you, you're very busy, and it's just when will I have time to do this kind of stuff? When am I going to have time to enjoy myself? When do I get what everybody else is enjoying the holiday season, and here I am working my butt off every day? And Aries, I feel you. Because let me tell you, here we are 10 days, I think, till Christmas or something. And I'm when have I enjoyed this season? When have I enjoyed, any time after, honestly, since October, when have I had a second to breathe? When do I get to have fun? And I think that there's a really big focus on, am I enjoying how life is right now? Am I enjoying how my work-life balance is? Do I like what I'm doing? Do I like how people are seeing me? I feel like I need to change something there. And I feel like I want more money, and I want more security and stability. And I feel like these feelings, oh, you know what? That's so prevalent. Okay, there's the astrology coming right out in the middle of your reading there. We do have the nodes changing. Before I forget, literally, I think the day after we have that Cancer full moon. And I feel like that's where it's shifting us towards money. Because for you guys, when the nodes shift, North Node into Taurus in your second house of money, and South Node into Scorpio in your 8th house of other people's shared money, borrowed money, death, inheritance, all that kind of stuff, and like what you owe other people, debts. There's going to be a huge focus on, you know, how we are with our financials, how we are with work. Are we enjoying it? Is it abundant enough? Am I saving enough? What am I spending my money on? There's a really big focus and a need to change there. And I think, again, for a lot of you, there's a really big need to change, like right there. That Ace of Wands, sorry, let me show her off right there. That Ace of Wands, that King of Wands. You want to feel passion for what you're doing. And I kind of get the sense that that's a really big focus for you right now. How do I love what I'm doing more? How do I get more enjoyment out of work? How do I get myself into that next level position? And again, I'm not surprised that your energy is shifting towards this, like I just said, because the nodes are shifting that way for you. And it's going to be a huge focus for you, especially with the eclipses over the next year, 2 years, okay? Well, it's like almost 2 years, I believe, that it's going to be that way. So I just feel this great sense of I want to push forward in some really big capacity. What am I doing right now? Like, what am I doing? What have I been doing? I don't really feel attached to this anymore. I think that it's time to transform. I think it's time to get the next step up. It's time to level up in these ways. And you guys are very ready for that. You're very patient and working your butt off for it. But I do feel like we want to feel secure. We want to feel stable. We want to be like the Queen of Pentacles, who doesn't really feel like she has to work very hard for her money. It's coming to her. She's about abundance and bringing abundance towards us and not really having it, you know, push at us, or like having to chase it, really is what I'm saying, not push at us. So let's keep looking here at where we're at. And for a lot of you, I just feel like you want to feel like this sense of peace and relaxation, and you haven't felt it. It's like, when is that feeling going to come back? I don't really feel at peace here. What's going to happen for you? Towards the end of December, beginning of January. Yeah, again, there's just such a focus on work. Wow. It's like, yes, I need to get these things settled in this area because, and it's like this really intense push for it. It's like, I don't have the patience. I'm not going to wait for this. I'm not waiting. I need this to change now. I need this to be better. I think for a lot of you, it's like you're going to really drop like a vision of the future that you once had. You're going to really drop that, especially in terms of work. I think it's like that path isn't working. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go for something else because I want to level up and I don't want to keep beating the same dead horse with the same stick and expecting a different result. It's not going to get back up. It's not going to change. And even now I'm thinking of like in my, what's it called? The Cosmic, I think it's the Cosmic Tarot. There is this card, the Seven of Pentacles, and he just looks like he's tried everything and he just doesn't know how to garden. He just can't do it. And that's kind of what I feel here with this Two of Wands reversed. It's like, you know, I was prospecting, I was thinking of these two ways, but you know what? Throwing the baby out with the bathwater, I'm not going that way. I'm going to go a totally different way, actually. I've come this far, and why am I prospecting on this future that I'm really not feeling, you know, like it's suiting my needs anymore? Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups there. I think especially in terms of work, if you are seeking out something new, offers and opportunities are out there. I do think you have to seek them out first, though, with a sense of hope and renewed faith. And this really lovely, again, this is kind of like that Jupiter and Pisces feel, because we are going to have Jupiter entering Pisces at the end of this month here. I think it's the 29th. And that's going to be a really nice like energy for hope, for faith, for this renewed, just like this just better feeling. Like go back to like spring of 2021, because we did have Jupiter and Pisces in there for a second, then it retrograded back and screwed us over again. But there's going to be a lot more comfortability, I think, because actually it's in your 12th house. How did I not catch on to that? Yeah, Pisces is your 12th house. So that's going to be more about, yeah, being more comfortable alone. Big messages, again, in terms of work, your public space, that brings up a lot of things that you need to pay attention to. A lot of these, like, very fear-based, very negative kind of feelings that we need to confront. So, and we don't want that anymore. We're like, I don't want to confront these negative things about work. I don't want to deal with the negativity. I don't want to be in this kind of environment. I want more. I want it to be more like this. I want to enjoy it. I want to feel emotionally attached and, renewed, replenished by my career and by my job. I don't want to just be throwing pasta at the wall and hoping it's going to stick and, spending all my energy, all my time, all my everything on this job that I'm not really even enjoying just because it's making me some money. We need to level up. It's so clear. Like, it's just like, okay, well, this is what I want to do, and I think I'm just going to go for that. So I think for a lot of you, it's like testing out the waters of something new, but there is this impatience here. And I do want to say, where am I holding this? Be more patient with this. And I feel like I'm always telling you guys to stop running. I know the energy sucks. Believe me, I feel you. As an Aries, Mars, and Mercury, I would love to rush forward and make everything be the way I want it to be right away. But that's not the timing of the world. That's not the timing of other people. And that's not the timing that's going on right now. So you have to trust and you have to keep working hard at this. 7 of Wands is don't let, especially in terms of work and colleagues and people around you, don't let them bring you down. Don't let them, make you feel less than. Don't let other people around you who are like, even friends, family, people that are like listening to you as you're like, oh, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, and they're beating you down about it. Don't. It's like, no. I have this idea. Why do you think that I can't? Why do you think that I can't? What would be your reasoning? Do you think I don't have it in me? Do you think it's not for me for some reason? Like, whatever I want to be for me is for me. And that's this kind of energy, right? So I feel like there is this need to, again, look at and go over, because we are going to have the Mercury going retrograde in Capricorn, again, in your 10th house of career and stuff like that. So just wait it out. I would say don't push too hard. Don't make any really intense decisions until things feel a little more clear, because this feels like jumping the gun, and you don't want to jump the gun on this. It feels like you need more clarity here. You need to see the situation a little more clearly and where you're going, because it feels like, more pieces to the puzzle align by the time, again, we get to like halfway through January. So let's just pay attention to that, okay? Pay attention to this. You have an idea. That's awesome. That's great. And I do think whatever it is that you want to do in terms of career moving forward, whatever, ideas or passions that you have towards this and that you want to make happen, I do think that you're going to do something with it. It's just let it flesh itself out a little bit more. Yeah, and don't get too attached. I gotta get that too. Don't get too attached, because it feels like this comes on in a really big and beautiful way. Don't get too attached. Don't be afraid to let go of any, especially fears that hold you back from chasing these things. Like, maybe I'm not good enough. I don't know. I don't want to go after something new. People are gonna think I'm silly for going after this career. Don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter whatever other people think about you and wherever you're going. All that matters is that you're comfortable, you're stable, you're happy, and you're not stressed out. Okay? So I feel like we're looking for more of this kind of vibe with work, like something that's really, really lovely. And let's look at love on that note now that we've seen that Ace of Cups. Yeah, when we get into January, we have so much going on. Like, we start the month off with that new moon in Capricorn and Mercury going into Aquarius. So again, all that 10th house is getting lit up, or really not even lit up because it's a new moon, but more like, what do we need to let go of in that area of our life? How do we not want people to see us? What has changed about our career, our perception of career, and how we want to be seen, what we're doing, how we put ourselves out there? Maybe for some of you who are in social media things, etc., want to switch things up, or if you're working more in media, like producing content, whatever it is, I feel like there's going to be a lot of big changes there, and maybe some of you leaving that because you're not feeling satisfied there, and you're going to be a lot more comfortable with not being up in front of everybody. But it's like that whole thing of like, where do I stand in the public eye and how people see me in terms of my career, and like, do I want to be like in front of the camera, behind the camera, not like no one's reading my words, nobody knows of me, or am I in front of it? Like that, these are all things that you're going to be really working out, questioning, and feeling through, I think, through January too, and especially throughout 2022. And as these with these nodes where they are, it's going to be very in that focus of financials and career and where am I, and I might need to walk away from something pretty big. All right, so let's look at love. Yeah, so make these decisions, but make sure that you are in a clear headspace. You see all aspects of it. You see aspects of yourself there too. Don't be too impulsive. As somebody with a lot of Aries too, like sometimes we can make really impulsive decisions because we feel one way. But you know what? feelings change like the tide. They change with the wind. 1 minute you're feeling this way and it's super intense, and the next you're gone. So just let things peter out, filter out, see things clearly. Talk to that one friend or that one person that you know that's very wise and is going to tell you the truth. It's going to direct you in the right direction, and it's going to know what's best for you rather than, you know, what benefits them or makes them comfortable. Because I think that there's a lot of that flying around you right now. Everyone has a lot of jacked up feelings right now. So just, it's finding that space and that peace, whether it's by yourself or with somebody who's very trusted and wise, to go over these things, go over your ideas for the future, talk about how you're feeling and what you feel like jumping at right now, and if you should, because I think that they're going to give you the advice that you need. All right. Oh, okay, Aries. Ooh, okay, some of you guys have been very worried about a love situation, huh? Wow. One at a time. There's been a lot of, I mean, honestly, in terms of relationships, especially if you're in separation or, you know, you're just not in communication, there's something weird there. There's a lot of intense, like, oh my God, like, what's going on? I feel really weird. I do think you're going to find some things out. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay, let's just look at these first before we pull out any more. So we have too many coming out. Yeah, 5 of Swords reverse, 7 of Swords, the World, the 4 of Cups. There's a lot of intensity there. Let's just talk about that for a second, these 2 sword cards. With the 5 of Swords reverse and the 7 of Swords reverse, I feel like, and again, in terms of the astrology right now, I would say, don't go out guns a-blazing, not, you know, thinking before we speak. And I know that I say this, but you've probably already done it, and it's fine. I can't really stop you. You can't really stop an Aries when they're on that path. Like, I just can't. But 5 of Swords reverse, 7 of Swords reverse, there's this feeling of a sense of loss, I want to feel like, with something that, like, it's like you lose a fight and you find something out. Or you find something out through a very deep feeling of loss, whether it's a really bad fight or, you know, again, a relationship ending, some type, maybe it's even from the past, because we're going to have, you know, some 12th house stuff kicking around by the end of the month. And I just feel like a lot of these weird, like, fears of loss and fears of where we stood in that loss or in that fight. Who was I really in that situation? And what role did I actually play? What role did they play? I think that these are really big questions that you're going to be asking about yourself, especially in terms of relationships, in terms of how we come about them, how we communicate, how we fight, and what that does. And I think you're going to see how you come, I mean, like, I don't want to, again, I'm not trying to come at you guys. I think that all the messages this month are very, like, bringing up our own toxicities. Let's just say that. I think December is bringing up a lot of, like, December into January. January's going to be, wow. It's going to, like, really throw it in our face and be like, did you want to see this about yourself? And you're going to be like, no, I really didn't. But guess what? I have to, I guess. And it's going to be like that. So I think for those of you who are in relationships, if this month, for the next month ahead, I would just say I'm not going to tell you not to get into fights or not to do that, not to get frustrated. But if you fly off the handle and think you know what you're saying, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that you do know what you're saying. And I don't think anybody does right now, but I do think it can be very detrimental and hurtful and can bring something out that is a lesson for you to learn about yourself and how you come at others when you feel attacked, when you feel your ego is bruised, when you feel your character is under attack or under scrutiny, or your love for somebody, whatever it might be, in terms of a relationship, things are going to come out about yourself that are going to be like, whoa, okay, I think I'm ready to change that. I think I'm good there. I think, like, we can move on from that, right? And yeah, because, like, we have that Venus retrograde cazimi. I'm looking at the astrology. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have all these notes here because it's insane. we have this Venus retrograde Cazima because Venus obviously is going retrograde in our 10th house, but that's still bringing up like this 2nd and 7th house kind of energy of like relationships there, because Venus rules your 2nd and 7th house there. So where you're feeling shifting, again, that's why I keep bringing up work and career, because it does have to do with that kind of stuff, our comfort, our possessions, our material, our money, our abundance. So how we feel abundant. Do we feel abundant in this relationship? How are our values shifting about love? How are our values shifting in our relationship? What do I value now? What do other people value? What needs to change also about how I express what I need and where, and my emotions within a relationship? I think there's going to be a really big closure to a lot of things here. To 4 of Cups, things that we're not happy about are going to be, I think, right up front. You might be feeling not very happy about the situation as well with the 4 of Cups in terms of love. It's like, I'm not really enjoying what I'm being offered. Okay, well then you got to do something about it there. We have to bridge a gap. If we feel that there is a space here and we need to bridge that, again, bridge the gap there, talk about this, deal with this. 5 of Pentacles reverse says, let's come back together and communicate. We've had our time alone, and I do think, especially with Jupiter moving into Pisces in your 12th house and you being more comfortable in that kind of space, I do think it'll be good for you, instead of when you're feeling really keyed up about something and your emotions and how you feel about somebody and any type of fight in a relationship, to take a step back and sit with yourself and sit with how you feel, really work through it and process that, because I do think it's going to bring you a lot closer. So sometimes these feelings of loss and these really painful moments of fear and intensity and oh my God, I can't believe we're talking about this. I can't believe we're having this conversation. I can't believe we're having this fight right now. I can't believe I'm figuring this out about myself or about, my partner or the person I'm interested in. That makes me feel like I'm losing. But it's also like, okay, now that I see this, I can move on. All right, I can build a new foundation and we're going to be okay. It'll be all right. Okay. And I did see the Fool pop up a couple times, but he never came all the way out. So I do feel like as long as you keep that kind of unattached, let's just keep going energy. Let's be open-minded. Let's not get too attached to outcomes. Let's not get too attached to how people are going to react. Let's not get attached to my own reactions. And if we do that, you're building this really beautiful foundation for love and abundance in all forms, in career, in romance, in all these really beautiful ways. But it does, again, force you this month to really ask yourself some really big questions. And especially when the nodes shift there into your 2nd house and 8th house there, I mean, it's going to be a whole different ball game is what this feels like. You're stepping into a really different place. So it's time to let go of, again, that's why all this really annoying, frustrating, I gotta go energy is coming out. Because the astrology is not helping with that. It's really pushing us back and making us deal with this stuff and bringing up all this kind of really intense fear-based energy and throwing these things in our face, because we have to close this stuff out right now. It's you gotta let it go. You gotta let certain things go. You gotta let certain things about yourself go, and outcomes and how you want other people to act and how you think that they should be acting to you, what you think they owe you, all this other crap. It's you've got to let that go. There's no tallying. That's a really big message that I'm channeling right now. Do not keep a tally system. If you and your relationship or work, whatever it might be, against somebody else, any type of relationship, if you're keeping up this tally thing of you wronged me here, you hurt me there, and now I get to bring this up and throw this in your face, and now I get to talk about this, and now I get to bring this back, don't do that. There's no I did this so you owe me, or you did this so I owe you, or I hurt you, you get to hurt me. That does not work. No. Absolutely not, okay? That kind of behavior has got to end. And whether you realize you're doing it or not, again, I'm not trying to attack you for that, but that is something that's coming in very intensely right now. Whether it's the other person or you, it's you can't be keeping this whole system of winning and losing and who's on top and who's not, and who's, the person in it that's in control, that's in charge, that is in this position while you're there. It's you can't, it's got to be a two-way, it's got to be together. We've got to be, this is a together vibe. We're holding each other together. We're building this together. This is not alone. This is making it happen. Teamwork makes the dream work. You've got to let go of other people's stuff. Would you like it if somebody was throwing that stuff in your face? No. Would you like to hear that? Would you like, I'll get you really mad and I'll make you change right now. Would you like, if somebody that you really love, somebody that you really care about, that you really treasure, a really good friend, a sibling, a parent, and you found out that they were accepting that kind of behavior, Would you do that? Like, if you found out that, you know, they were getting hurt because they, you know, they were getting hurt because somebody hurt, oh my God, I can't speak. You know what I'm trying to say. Would you react the same way, or would you immediately fly off the handle and be like, it's time to get into overprotective mode and change this whole thing? Well, then you got to stop doing that too. Treat yourself that way. Be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Time to shift, time to change. I wouldn't accept that in somebody I wouldn't accept that. It's so funny because Aries will be like, yeah, I'll deal with it myself. But it's like, once it's somebody that you care about, you're like, excuse me, I'm gonna go set the whole building on fire now. Like, I'm coming for your throat. And that is, take that overprotective energy and throw that into, take that energy of like, I gotta do something about that. I recognize it, I see it, and so let's go to yourself and to these issues that crop up this month. And don't be afraid to confront them. And don't be too attached, don't be too attached to these things. Be ready to let things go. Be ready to release. Be ready, especially in terms of, you know, the path that you're moving ahead on, in terms of career, how you approach love relationships. Like, there's a lot of really big shifting within you. And also this really deep sense of feeling a lot more comfortable in being alone and who you are, and spending more time with yourself, which is the thing you got to do. But again, there's a lot of miscommunicative energy here. There's all that kind of crap going on. So just be careful this month and how you're coming across. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see you next month. Hopefully we'll get them a little earlier out in January. I don't know though. It's going to be a really crazy month for me too. So I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of December. If you want to book a reading, please email me. I'm not just taking bookings just as is right now because I am absolutely swamped, but you can email me and we can try to schedule it when I have a little more availability. And do follow me over on Instagram. Do subscribe if you haven't, guys, and Happy New Year.